And Apple decide to make...
Shut up!
Update iTunes right at this very moment.
And we are messily live, for fuck's sake. Always good to start a stream with John like that. Bloody hell.
Well, as I say, literally you said we're going live and Apple iTunes updater pops up and says, right at this very moment.
And we are messily live, for fuck's
And
You
this is
didn't
the
have
part
to
where I get into trouble.
You didn't have to tell everyone that after I said we're going live. Come on. There are moments your inner voice should stay on the inside.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It doesn't stop you, does it?
Nothing stops me. Why the hell? But I would have kept quiet at a moment like that. I would
No,
have.
because that was the whole point. You said, let's go live, and bang, literally, that very, very, very...
No, I didn't say
split
let's
second.
go live. I said we're going live.
Well, I'm here
Whatever, Heather.
No, that's a big difference.
Well,
in
I
that.
guess it's good that only 3 of us are watching this at the
Yeah.
Oh, I've got 4.
John's 3 of them.
John is 3 of them. No. I was watching on 2 channels. Why? I have no idea why that is. I assume Michael is watching. John is watching. Oh, there is a Davy. Hi there, Davy.
Hey, Davey.
Hi, Davey.
A happy independence to you and
Don't
John.
forget Ludicrous, he's happily independent too.
Yes. And being the only one who voted leave, pretty much.
Yes, and I didn't. I at top of the show, I voted remain. But I got better.
I don't hold it against you, John. You know that.
But
Well-
I got better, and I have
Lovely.
been to pro-Brexit rallies since.
Well, that's the one thing that amazed me the most. I've heard of more Remain voters turning to Leave than of Leave voters turning to Remain.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
still
because
the
anyone
story-
with a brain would see what the EU were like and go, oh, thank fuck, we're leaving.
Yeah, and it's so interesting or funny or weird or whatever to see the Remainers keep moaning and moaning and moaning, even
And
though they're
lying.
actually losing support.
I'm lying. I'm
Well,
not
yeah,
lying.
that's
But,
implied, I guess.
I have this thought, right? So today's the 1st of February, right?
Yeah,
February Fool's Day.
No, it's 1st of February, right?
yeah.
So, 1st of February, middle of winter. So if this is to be our Independence Day, take a note, fucking 4th of July, middle of summer. We're going to January, 1st of February.
And in a few years, when global warming has once again turned into global cooling, it'll be middle of winter, that's for sure.
No, I'm just
But
saying for
the-
fuck's sake.
at the
of
same
all
time, though-
days to pick.
At the same time, though, that would be perfect weather for an effigy burning.
Yeah, but we've already got that. It's called Guy Fawkes Night.
Hey, no one says you can only have one.
But we could have the day of the referendum as our Independence Day, because that
Or
was
we
in
could
Middleton.
celebrate Guy Fox Night.
D Fox?
Guy, as in Guy Verhofstadt.
Oh, Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
And suddenly
Well.
Game of Thrones makes sense. Winter is coming.
The winter is coming.
Still waiting for it. We had 15 degrees.
Well, we had 2 nights of frost where the temperature actually got below 0. 2 nights. 3 perhaps, I don't know. So yeah. But I am not convinced obviously, but I am pretty sure that we are going into warmer periods now. Colder periods now. It would seem that we're
Look, I don't want to know about your monthly problems, man.
That's not monthly. That made no
It's
sense.
regular.
He doesn't think literally.
No,
Right.
not used to the banter.
No.
Maybe I'm too leprechaun, who knows, time to kill Schengen. Well, let's see what happens with the Schengen zone. To be honest, I mean, there
Well,
are.
I say let them have it and build a wall.
No.
I like building walls.
Hey, Schengen and Dublin are both irrelevant by now because Germany opened the border and they are flooding the whole European
But-
Union with European visas. And the Schengen agreements, I'm sorry, Denmark cancelled them. France is checking. The Germans are checking only at the Swiss borders. The Italians are not complying to it. The Austrians and the Hungarians both blocked them because the others were ignoring their courts.
But yeah,
Schengen is done.
in all fairness, Merkel, with her stupidity of opening the borders of Europe, even though Germany isn't a border country, is
Can I just say you
it's-
call
it's
it
the death knell.
stupidity? Can I just say you call it stupidity? I am far more suspicious.
Planned.
well, maybe it is. I don't know, but it's the death knell of Europe because every European country has a problem with this. Every European country.
Yeah.
Not every European country dares to speak out about it because, yeah, well, obviously you're kind of an ist and an obe if you do. And
Well,
it
And
seems
look
to
what they
still.
have done to Switzerland when it's open up because we have about 25,000 refugees entering Switzerland and doing so entering the first time the Schengen area. Even though Switzerland is in the middle of Europe, we have no border whatsoever to the outside, especially not to Turkey, not to Africa, no nothing. How the hell can they enter the Schengen area in Switzerland first? How is this fucking possible? They don't come
Magic
by
carpets.
plane. They all
Magic
come
carpets.
constant-
They come by boat. Your famous navy.
Yeah, but how? We don't have a river that goes to the sea. Oh,
That's
well,
what I
they
said.
have their
That's
own.
what I said. By boat, your famous navy.
Magic carpets.
We have a navy, John. We have a navy.
I know.
What? Does Switzerland have a
Combat
navy?
swimmers. Yeah,
Yes.
combat swimmers. We can mine the Lake Constance and the Genfersee.
them
What
on.
is it called? Thanks.
Right. You know what they would call people like that in just about any army in the world? The military.
Remember?
Cannon fodder.
No, the military. I mean, sorry, if you're doing something in the lake, it's not the navy. It's the military.
Well, we do have
They're
an Air
grunts.
Force and we have an army.
You have a navy. Switzerland has a navy.
Yeah.
And an
A
Air Force.
mountain-locked country has a
And
navy.
the Air Force, I have the Barrett of the Air Force.
But,
Yes.
I mean,
That's-
Air Force I can still understand. I mean, you do have Sky and all that. But a navy?
It's navy.
Seriously, that makes very little sense, I have to admit.
Well, they've got the Thunersee as well.
They got the what?
The
Thunersee.
Thunersee. A lake in Bern.
Oh.
Or Lake Lucerne. That's a rather
Well-
big one.
Well, apparently the Germans have an air force, even though none of their planes can fly.
That's true.
Can't their
Well, the
planes
tornadoes
fly?
are still flying. The tornadoes are still flying. It's just the Eurofighter that makes problems.
I didn't know that. In all fairness, I haven't been busy with the different militaries of Europe. I mean, yeah, I still don't care. I'm just trying to find reasons to care, but I simply don't care about the European navies or armies because
You say that now.
yes,
Say that
yes,
now.
yes.
When their Jap boots are stomping down the high street.
Still
Listen,
waiting for the Salvation Navy.
Salvation Navy.
I'd
don't
rather
they
see the
exist
Salvation
already?
Air Force. Do they
Hey,
have their own wings?
The Salvation Army is a thing. Look at those refugee.
Yeah, the Salvation
Force,
Army,
you-
but the
you-
Salvation Navy.
Yeah, the Salvation Navy. Did it say army?
You
Yes.
said
Oh,
army.
well, my bad. Salvation Navy.
No, a Salvation Air Force, and they have to bring their own wings.
But yeah, no, I mean, there is no Salvation Navy. I mean, there are Salvation taxi services on water.
Okay.
Must be a Dutch thing.
No. That's quite simple. I mean, they pick up people in Libya, or rather, they pick up people outside of the coastal waters of Libya, and then they ship them over to Italy or Spain.
Yeah, that's what I meant
Or
with
France.
Salvation Navy.
Yeah, no, because they're not from Salvation. They're how do you call them? Non-governmental organizations.
Yes, Ireland's
Which is Salvation Army is also a non-governmental, but these non-governmental organizations are pretty much funded by certain wealthy people, where the Salvation Army isn't.
Ireland's biggest import into the EU last year was refugees.
Yeah. How stupid can you get?
And then you complain we want to stop having your beef.
I didn't complain about anything.
No, not you. You personally. I meant the Irish.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. No one wants to beef with the Irish, doesn't they?
No, not beef with the Irish, just Irish beef. You know,
It's
Conor
a
McGregor.
silly joke.
Yeah,
Yes.
Conor McGregor.
Yes.
Irish beef.
Right. So, but yeah, I mean,
No, just to mention this, right, because it amuses me no end, right? So I get BT Sport, who were bigging up the great fight for Conor McGregor,
versus.
somebody who beat him last time. And it
right.
was all on for weeks and weeks and weeks. Do you know how long the fight lasted?
1 round.
12 seconds.
What? That fast?
Yes.
How come? Did he get knocked out in the first hit?
Well, he won. McGregor won.
Okay, so did he knock him out in the first
Yeah.
hit?
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
So all the hype, people pay all that money, and it lasted 12 seconds.
But was this the fight against the boxer?
No, he lost that.
Oh yeah, I know he lost that, and I thought this was.
No,
then-
this was just a week ago.
Okay, so this was just a normal MMA fight.
Well, the championship.
John,
Right.
some people pay more than that for a hooker for less time.
Yeah, well, if
12
if
seconds,
you have
though?
premature problems, that's your own lookout.
12 seconds though. No. I don't believe 12 seconds is reasonable.
Okay. Look it up.
Well, I feel sorry for those guys.
Cowboy Chiron.
Sounds like a stripper name.
I'm not even going to look up any of that.
Oh, sorry, it was 40 seconds. I exaggerated.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah. So
It
how
was seconds. The point was he didn't make the minute.
they didn't make a minute? That's true. I am curious though. How terrible are things in the UK right now? I already know that you were talking about how you lost your
the power
energy.
outages.
Yeah, 3 power
The
outages
power
in the
is
last
gone,
day.
We've had influxes of diseases. You know, we're all dead.
Oh,
Anyone with
Not
super.
extra
There's
alcohol,
no
only
drugs,
holding it
no
down.
food.
Well, yeah, no, I remember that one because sandwiches would definitely be a goner.
But we got all that money for the NHS, so
And do you know what puzzles me about sandwiches being a goner is? As we grow wheat, have mills, and can bake bread, I still don't quite understand that.
Cucumbers.
We have nothing to put in it.
Cucumbers. That's the point.
Yeah, well, that's the Spanish giving everyone botulism or something.
Well,
Salmonella.
still. And lettuce? Well, no, you can grow lettuce. You should be able to grow lettuce.
We have lettuce.
Yeah, so lettuce is not a good. Well, cucumbers.
We can grow cucumbers. We
No, you
just
can't.
let the Spanish
You
do
don't
it.
need to, you got enough Remainers.
That's true. That's true, Michael. That is absolutely true.
So, well, there is all that, and the super gonorrhea. I never understood that one. I mean,
Well,
gonorrhea.
Now,
Okay.
Brexit, everything's got to be better, hasn't it?
We're
So
all
good
fucked.
super gonorrhea, not ordinary gonorrhea.
Well, that's probably it then.
they think we're all fucked.
I dare not comment on that.
I got a bad language. I apologize.
It's kind of funny though because I mean, I think yesterday I saw clips of people in the Netherlands waving bye-bye to the UK. And there was this one woman and she came from the UK and she feels like, "Oh no, but now I have to reapply for my green cards and blah blah blah." She's married to a Dutch guy and I'm like, "You're married to a Dutch guy?"
Well,
That's
yeah,
because-
the European Union.
No.
That's because she's a moron who
Yeah.
believes what she reads.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I mean,
I had a colleague like that. I mean, there's a woman I worked with, and I'm losing my job, so no longer my colleague, but still. She's still working there. Great colleague. That's not the point. But she's from England. And she was so afraid. Oh, no, I have to go get my Dutch.
But it has to be afraid because when we in Switzerland had this vote about the mass immigration, the EU immediately stopped giving Swiss citizens green cards. They even took them away from them.
Yeah,
even though
but
their contracts were in place.
but
That's
but
why
that's
we hate the European Union.
but that's the EU. She lived in the Netherlands for more than 30 years, and she's been working non-stop.
Yeah.
There-
but she
there's
is
no
in
way
EU
the
at
Dutch-
moment.
There's no way the Dutch government will tell her to piss off to England.
Wait until Britain.
No,
No,
we don't want
it won't.
her.
It won't happen. It simply won't happen. People from the UK were living in Europe way before the European Union.
Yeah.
To think
And
that the
people
European
from Europe were living in the UK way
Yeah.
before the European
Yeah.
and to think that the European Union is so powerful that they can throw a spanner in the whole thing is ludicrous.
Yes.
Well,
They
the
are-
British have already said we are accepting anyone who's already here. No problem. Just,
Yeah, but that's the
you're
Brits.
fine. Yeah.
Bristol will retaliate. If you thought that the pressure you have experienced since the vote is already bad enough, forget about it.
No,
they
you see, now we
John,
get to gloat.
Now, John, but they will increase pressure instantly starting Monday. Trust me, I've seen everything of it.
No. They're not going to do that because
Why not?
Because economically speaking, France is in a shithole. Germany is not far behind them. The
Yeah,
They
idea.
didn't stop to do it with Switzerland.
No, but
No.
they have a huge balance of payments deficit against us.
Yes, so so do we.
Yeah, but they
Germany
also.
and France are owning Switzerland money,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah. But you're not part of any European thing other than what you've always been. And the UK is a big trading partner. Switzerland, no, Switzerland is only a banking partner.
No, sir. We import 60% from all imports from the European Union. If we would stop this, we could easily switch to the UK, to China, to the States,
Which is all good and well. How many people live in Switzerland?
including immigrants.
All of them.
8.7 at the moment.
8.7 million.
Yeah.
Oh, London.
Do you get my drift? Switzerland
but we
is
have
not
also
big
the
enough
transit
to worry.
roads.
Switzerland is not big enough to worry about, so they can kick Switzerland around because they simply don't care. But they can't do the same to the UK.
Shall we close the Gotthard route one more time and then we'll again?
I would say go for it, in all fairness.
Yeah, so would I.
Though I think you would rather try to get Italy on your side.
Can I just say that there is one factor Michael's not considering. What Michael said was true until May went. Now what Modwain's saying is true because we have Johnson. It's all about the attitude and the backbone of the leader.
But that's the thing, though. An army of 100 lions led by a sheep will lose against an army led by one lion of 100
100
sheep.
sheep led by one line, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if Switzerland seriously is going to say, okay, you know what, fuck you, if you're going to treat me like that, then I'm going to play the game
Yeah, you
the
have
same
to
way
call
you
the
play
bluff.
it, then yeah, trust me.
We have
But-
too many EU files. That's the
Yeah,
issue.
and that's,
And
your
that's the problem. Hell, we have
That's
them in
the
the
problem.
Netherlands.
It's not the way the EU treats you. It's the way you let them treat you.
The thing is, if we look at the Netherlands, for years, D66, which is a national party, for years they've been talking about how the Netherlands needs to get their referendi. Oh, it's so important. Oh, it's direct democracy. We need referendi. They finally got it through. We had a few referendi, and all of them didn't go the way D66 had planned because the people simply disagreed with them. And ever since, they've been fighting to get it taken out. Now, I can blame Europe for that, because Europe played along with it. But in all fairness, the fact that a Dutch political party who was adamant about the importance of a referendum is turning around and saying, well, let's not do that again. They're not doing that because of Europe. They're doing that because they lose on it, because they thought they would win. And Europe just plays along nicely with it.
Yeah.
But it's the politicians here that are the problem. There's no way Brussels can get as powerful as it is now if politicians in the individual countries say, oh, wait a second, this working together is all good and well, but mind your place. And Europe doesn't mind its place. And there we have a problem.
Yeah, but then again, look at Italy and Austria. They've done it several times.
Yeah, but
They
the
might
only way
have
you...
some power we don't know, because what you said is all good and so on. I'm not disputing that, but the EU and Brussels must have some power to force countries into a what is it called?
Consensus.
Yeah. Thanks. Question is, what is this power?
Well, with
Well,
Ireland,
it's not that. It's
Ireland
all
is-
about... Sorry, you.
Yeah, I was saying with Ireland, it's very simple to tell that Ireland owes the EU quite a lot of money from the crash, and so basically Ireland is being controlled and run by Germany at the minute.
Congratulations,
As is Greece, as is...
Portugal.
Yeah,
Spain.
Portugal. Well, Portugal is quite simple because Portugal simply doesn't have anything, so...
Yeah, but they don't even have the debts anymore. That's the point. They paid everything back,
Yeah.
but they are
But-
still controlled.
But the thing is, if we look, for example, at the financial crisis Greece has loaned way too much money from German banks, mostly German banks, and French banks. Now, if you loan too much money from your bank and you can't pay it back, you go bankrupt. This happens to countries too. Greece has...
No, can I just check that right? If you owe a bank a little bit of money, they have you over a barrel. If you owe a bank a lot of money, you have them over a barrel.
Yeah. And this is what happened with Greece. And it's the bank's failure, not the Greeks' failure. It's the bank's failure. And then what does Germany say? Ooh, we have a problem. I can't go on like this. And what does the European Union then say? Oh, you know what? Then Greece now has a problem with us. We'll pay the German banks, and Greece has to pay us back. And since we are not even national governments, but pretending to be a national government, we will never default on this loan. Because we have no skin in the game. But Greece has to pay it all back. So basically they're saving banks at the cost of the European Union, because let's be honest, the biggest problem with the European Union started with that, which is at the beginning of the financial crisis. That was even before the migrant crisis started. Sometimes I have the feeling the whole migrant crisis was to steer us away. Yeah, distract us from the financial crisis. And then they spend billions of dollars trying to give to Turkey to prevent people from Turkey fleeing to Greece. I'm like, give those billions of dollars to the Greek. They can use that money to both get themselves out of their financial shit and actually work on dealing with the refugees.
Actually, have you met the Greeks?
I know, but that's a different story altogether.
No, it's not.
No,
But we're
issue
going
is
to give money-
won't help.
but
Modern,
we-
money won't help. They need to have their own currency so they can go into a recession or inflation.
I know. But to give money to the Turks to prevent refugees from unwantedly coming to Europe, yeah, that really worked well. Oh yeah, but once we gave money to the Turks, well, there were a lot less refugees. Yeah, that had nothing to do with the fact that Hungary also put up a fence.
That's called blackmail. The Turks were blackmailing the European Union.
Yes.
Modrian, can I also put one other point forward? Because it was discussed by an Irish economist about 5-6 years ago that the EU is actually a bankocracy.
Yeah.
Basically, it doesn't care about the people; it cares about the banks over
Yeah.
the people.
It's an oligarchy. It's there's a word for it, and I can't remember it now. Oh yeah, plutocracy. The
Cunts.
European Union. Well, yeah, that too. but the European Union, as most big economic, social systems, are plutocracies.
It's no wonder they like the feminists so much.
Yeah, I don't think it's a question of liking. It's useful idiots.
It's the big corporate, the banks, and all those who fund feminism.
Yeah, I think it's the useful idiot story.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I said it's no wonder they like them so much. That's what I said.
So yeah,
Because it's the same. Don't care. Just
don't think about what the fuck is going on.
no principles. Just give us the money.
Yeah.
How much trouble have I got you into so far?
I'm sorry.
How much trouble have I got this channel into so far?
Have you got it into?
Nothing.
None. I'm the one swearing.
Did you say something not nice then, Ludicrous? Did we miss that?
No, I'm always insulting people.
Really?
Yeah, well, that's our job.
I never insult people.
Well, for once
No
you're
English.
talking to me. That's as much trouble as you've gotten now.
Yeah, but seriously, I never insult people. It's not my fault they are fucktards. And how is calling out facts insulting? I never understood that.
Ah, because facts are signs of the patriarchy, tools of the patriarchy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all right.
so
So are houses. Well, let's be honest. I've yet to see the first skyrise built by feminist. Or feminism. Something like that.
But they never gonna happen. They will command men to do that.
Yeah.
Feminists never get dirty hands.
What was that? What was that?
Well-
I'm going to see if I can find this one. It's
I can
absolutely...
think of certain activities that involve it, but not on a family show.
Oh, you still care about the monetization of this channel, John?
There is
Me?
no monetization.
Hell no. It's just, what's the word? It's just playing with it. Letting you use your imagination about the things that women of a homosexual persuasion might do to get their hands dirty.
Why did you send me your link, Ludicrous?
Oh, I thought this was something that might be relevant for the stream later.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's all right. Well, we can watch it later if you want. I mean, it's your channel. If you want to... I'm trying to find something. Hey, there we go.
Oh,
This
what
is
about
the-
the celebrations in the UK? Are
What
they
about
big?
the celebrations? Who cares?
Celebrate good time. Come on.
No, please.
No? Oh. Why not?
It's a horrible song.
And because you can't sing.
Don't tell
Shut
me that.
up. That's
Why not? I
That's
will be
not
honest.
nice. You
Yeah,
heard
you
my
do, you
feeling.
do,
I
but
didn't
we
say a
humour
word.
him on that topic.
That hurt my feeling. How dare you?
You stole his childhood now.
Oh, let me see if I can share
Well,
this
better
one.
late than sorry.
Yes, that's true.
Let me see if I can share this. We were talking about feminism like a second ago, and I have to somewhat share this one. And the people in the chat can't see it right now either. So that's me being nasty to them.
No, I can't see it either because you're not sharing it. with
Yeah,
me.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's essentially just those who are talking anyway, and Davey, and I think Davey doesn't.
You
need
said
to
we're
do
in the chat, and the chat is the stream.
See, I don't get
This
this,
is the
but
hangout.
when I try to share screen, it does this blinky thing on on Hangout.
Yeah, I think tomorrow's a bit soon.
Yeah. Well, basically, you could see it on the normal stream now because pretty sure it's
Oh,
there
yeah.
now. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why that happened. This happened earlier as well. It was just really annoying when I tried to share something on Hangout. If I screen share Hangout, it's blinkety fucking shit.
'Cause it's
Anyway,
easier.
so far of the equality one, it's a woman standing in front of a window looking outside. Oh, it's time to start fighting for equality. And outside is a man cleaning snow, shoveling snow, and then tomorrow. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
At least there is a man clearing snow in Sweden. You don't even get that.
Yeah. But that's because they had it planned differently this time.
Yeah, so women can
Feminist
go to
panic.
work, but
Yeah,
now
feminist planning. Oh, that was brilliant. No. I mean, it's unreasonable to do the streets first because that's only when men go with their cars. No, we have to do the sidewalks first because that's where women walk with children. Yeah. Thing is, though, the streets are done first because people in buses and cars go to their job. And if they can't do
street
that,
workers with the shovel and tools need to go to the sideways too. They can't walk the whole thing.
so yeah, that was that. John, come on, tell us something funny about how the UK is now basically
Well, you know,
a
I
shill of
have
its
this-
former self.
Remember you did a video?
What, me? A video? Never.
You did a video. Happy Arbitrary Day.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay? It's like that. One day we're in the European Union. The next day we're not. Guess what?
Nothing
Nothing's
changed.
No, John, that's not true. We are drowning in salt.
No. I mean, symbolically, it's a big
Drowning
thing,
in
but
salt.
Practically, it's nothing has changed.
Aye.
It's like you get up and go about your life, and the catastrophe with the economy never happened.
Well, it's Saturday. What do you expect? Wait until Monday.
Oh, Saturday's another day of the week here.
Yeah, but
24
that's...
hour shopping and
Yeah,
you
but
know.
the stock trades. You have to wait until Monday.
Oh well, it's as I say, the lorries are on the road, the shops are open.
They still
Well,
buy
in all
the left
fairness,
side.
let's be honest. Belgium still doesn't have a government, so what are we on about?
Yeah, they
Governments-
do.
No, they don't.
They host the European Union.
Yeah, no.
They have
Those
a
are
government. It's just not
those
theirs.
two different things.
Yeah.
The current
No, I
government.
know. Sorry, I'm just riffing off. They have got a government. See, they have got a government. It's just rules all of Europe or all of the blue bits on the map.
That's not true. They're not Belgian.
I didn't say they were Belgian. I said they're in Belgium. Therefore, Belgium has a government.
No, there's a government in Belgium, but it's not Belgian government.
Yeah, I know.
That's what he said.
I know.
There is
I
no
know.
Belgian government.
No.
He didn't say that.
You didn't say that. You said there's no government in Belgium.
Right, fair enough then.
See, that's how EU citizens think.
Anywho, who needs government anyway?
The point is tonight's a night for being silly and playing with words. Because these are things I'm good at.
But Modern has a point. Who needs governments?
I agree.
No. I remember the time when Merkel wasn't able to get her coalition going. They didn't had a government. No new laws, no new rulings, no nothing for over half a year.
Yeah.
I
That was
agree.
That was the best time Germany,
Germany
had
had,
since
yeah.
Second World War.
Yeah.
I agree. I 100% agree. And I've used the same example.
You also use Merkel.
Yeah, the German and Italian and whatever examples of not having a government and nothing bad happening. But in fact, it being good. And I frequently recommend the same for Britain, that we should just suspend Parliament for a bit.
No, let Johnson work a little while. He does good.
No, Parliament, I said.
Oh,
It's just it gets confusing. So you've got a government doing business and you have Parliament getting in the way.
Yeah. Makes you wonder though.
Well, it keeps 635 idiots off the streets, I suppose.
Well,
Well, you still could send them to Dover and toss them down the cliff.
No. We want them to do it of their own free will.
Seriously though, you want to have the Red Cliffs of Dover?
Yeah, I
Why
don't
not?
care. France are the only ones who see them, so they can be any colour they want.
Oh, right.
Well, you have part green, part white, and then you will have red into it. Oh no, that's the Italian flag.
No, blue, white, and red.
Yeah, that's the French. But
Yeah.
green, white, and red
Yes.
is the Italian flag.
Okay.
So it's
Yes, but it's opposite France. France, therefore you want the French flag.
You would have to paint the grass blue then.
No. You just get Tories to do it. Remaining Tories, because they got blue blood.
Oh,
It's an old expression in this country, having blue
know.
blood.
Not just in your
Royalty.
country.
No good.
Well, that's fine. I didn't know.
I had blue blood once too. Too less iron, no oxygen in it.
Yeah. That's
Well,
also
here they do inbreeding.
yeah, because the skin got so thin that you could see the veins.
Is that what it was? I thought it was just
yeah,
that.
no, that's what it was. Because if you can see people with really thin skin, you can see the veins under it, and those veins often look blue.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what the blue
veins
blood.
do. Veins are deoxygenated.
The
Well, not all
chemical
veins,
and
because-
carbon dioxide.
Yes, veins are deoxygenated. That's what a
The
vein is.
arteries.
Someone should mention this to Greta. Maybe she will cut her veins open.
No,
mean.
no.
That would be mean.
It's the
Comedy
arteries that are-
gold. You're trying to kill there.
Now Greta's really funny. She's now going to try to, what was it?
Pornhub?
Copyright her name. It's called different, but I can't remember.
No,
the-
not. She will
Trademark.
Trademark her
Fridays for
name.
Future. But she
Sorry,
will do
what?
it with Fridays for Future. Because there's been a German youngster politician, an 18-year-old idiot. The only thing he has done is skipping classes, I think. And
Skipping classes. They have trade school in Germany.
Yeah, so so do they in Sweden, it seems.
yes, that's true. But he's now going berserk because Greta is going to trademark Fridays for Future. He wanted to trademark because he is being pushed out of Friday for Future for
I
making a Nazi.
Want to ban the trademarking of meaningless expressions.
Yeah,
of
simple
racist
phrases.
words.
Okay, so no more substream then.
No,
No, we don't trademark it. I mean, we can still have SodStream, but we just don't trademark it.
All right. Well read.
it's not that you can't call something something. It's just you don't get the exclusive rights in the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah, selected the artist formerly known as Prince.
What, you mean Harry?
No, it's formerly known as Harry.
Prince formerly known as Harry.
No, but
That was
apparently,
cringe. That was a good cringe.
the Queen has tasked MI5 to search for Harry's balls.
Yeah. Well, no. They'll find them in the
MI5,
car crash in the
they're the
tunnel.
fastest, I think.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said there. Well,
I say they'll find them in the car crash in the tunnel if they have next week.
they're going to
they
have next
can't.
week.
That's in France.
No,
No,
I thought they went.
have them in North America.
I thought they went to what's it called?
Canada.
Canada,
North America.
which is brilliant because Canada has the worst laws when it comes to divorce. So he's so screwed. He can't even step down now because if he does, he's going to get divorced under
They
Canadian
also
law.
have really bad winters.
But it depends on where you are.
No, lots of snow and skidding.
This won't save him.
But the Queen told Hillary that Meghan's got evidence against her.
Yeah.
Well, that's nasty. So yeah, there is that.
Well, He got married to an American woman.
Yes.
Well,
What was that song again? American Woman.
Get away from
Get
me.
away from me.
I'm with
In
Lawrence
the
Fox.
1970s, they knew already, and no one learned.
Lola, lo, 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 lo.
I'm with Lawrence Fox. Never date a feminist.
No, yeah. Yeah.
So it's his own stupid fault for being an idiot.
Yeah, well, he got, what was it? Pussy grabbed? I don't know.
What?
He got pussy grabbed.
He got pussy grabbed.
Well, yes, that's how it works.
No, he is a pussy, so she must have grabbed all of him for that to work.
Yeah,
Well, we never know what happened behind closed doors.
indeed.
Don't have to.
And
because
considering-
they
Maybe
have
she got her hands dirty,
photographs
John.
on it in public.
And I can't remember, but she was at least married once, maybe even twice. So she already has experience with it. The chump never stood a chance.
On the top was photos of her from a couple of years ago circulating.
Yeah, I've seen
I
them.
want to see her. I'm sorry,
It's
but,
not. It's not that interesting. Yeah, that is true. It's not that interesting.
I wouldn't even masturbate over you.
how
Yeah, but
dare
that's
you
because it's a
judging her.
black woman, isn't it?
No, it's because she's a cunt.
Well, yeah, there is that. I mean, calling her a person of color, I can't get through it. What makes her a person of color?
Easy.
Well,
Her privilege.
right. Oh, okay. It's
What is a criminal offense if done in public? Either toxic.
Tossing a coin to toss a coin to your witcher.
hydotoxic. Oh yeah, hydotoxic. Oh, you saw that before I did.
This aren't as slow as the people.
Sorry, I am doing really bad double entendres on any word I can find.
Hi, Polo.
And hi there, Paolo.
You're late.
So, but yeah, there is that.
Modwayne, someone is dying in your background.
Yes. She's just coughing a little bit. Don't worry. It's not all
Just
that
your
bad.
wife.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No need for action then.
The ex-Duchess of Sussex.
Yeah, Meghan Merkel, the ex-Duchess of Sussex.
Well, yeah, they've both been removed from royalty, haven't they?
Well, technically, duchesses and dukes and duchesses aren't royalty.
Yeah, but Harry wasn't he?
Yeah, but those titles aren't royalty. You have to be
right.
prince or princess to be royalty.
Okay, fair enough. I never understood that you could be a duchess, because duke is a war term.
No,
Yeah.
duke is the highest level of aristocracy in the United Kingdom.
But it used to be a war term.
It's a very, very old, high status term in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, before that it was a war term. Trust me on this one.
It might have been a bloody long time ago.
Well, it was.
Okay.
But you have several terms. You have well, obviously royalty, and then you have within the how do you call it now?
Knight.
Sorry.
Knights.
Lines.
Well, no.
Aristocracy.
Within the aristocracy, you had several titles, and dukes were combat titles.
Okay. As I say, it must have been a very long time ago.
I can't remember the other ones. Let me see if I can.
Earls is another from Jarl.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah,
Dukes, earls,
but an earl wasn't a fighting title.
barons, baronet.
Oh damn it!
Baronet, isn't that the knife you slap on the rifle?
No,
Not a bayonet.
Oh yeah, thanks. A little language disconnect.
That's okay.
no, I don't think the Duke of Hazard's were that sort of Duke, Michael Keller.
But there
Oh,
were
for
some
fuck's
kind of
sake.
war.
No, that was a family name.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure what you
Just
guys
like
are on
David
about.
Duke. David
They were
Duke.
called the Duke, as in that was the family name, not a title.
Let me see if I can... Oh, fucking hell. I'm trying to figure out those title things, and the first thing I find is buy yourself a non-seated title.
Ah, it is royalty. My mistake. A
Why the
duke
hell would I want...
male can be either a monarch ranked below the emperor king and grand duke ruling over a duchy, or a member of royalty or nobility, historically of highest rank below princes of nobility and grand duke. Nothing about war.
Yeah, but that's because those people were highest because of their rank. You could have a king lead an army, a prince lead an army, or a duke lead an army.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it myself. It's some time ago.
Yeah, it was from Latin, as in Rome, 1600 years ago, that it was a military leader.
All I said is that's where it came from, and it
Yeah,
was.
I know, and I just said it was a very long time ago.
You know, it
Wasn't
actually
arguing.
it actually went on quite long, to be honest, because I think it was still used like that in the Middle Ages. I have to look it up though.
I'm sure it was.
Where barons too could be considered. I think a baron was a military title as well, but I can't remember that one.
There's also the funny thing that Jerry Adams, the head of Sinn Féin and IRA, was a baron. He got a title of baron from the British government.
Okay. Yeah, that is weird. Why would they make him a baron?
Because he was leaving his post in the British government, his elected role, and you can't just leave your elected role in Parliament, but you can be, if you're given a title, you can be excused from your role and given a title, and he was given a baronet.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was laughing at him about it because, he was the ultimate person going up against the British government, and yet he had to take this role of baron.
You don't have to. People reject them.
Well, he couldn't reject it if he wanted to get out of Parliament.
No, but Tony Benn was a Viscount. That's another one, Viscount. And he surrendered that title so he could be an MP.
Oh, you can surrender it afterwards, and that's what Jerry did.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you surrender, you're French. Come on, admit it.
Well, only if it's just a title.
It's still surrendering.
And there are people who have rejected honours.
Well, don't know if I would, to be honest.
No, but I don't think you're going to get the choice, so that's fine.
That's true. That's true. Well, who knows? I might go into politics yet. Still young.
What is
Yeah.
that?
Sorry.
Well, hopefully by then we've got the corruption out of politics.
Oh well. I just if I would actually work for term limits, because I really think the whole idea of politicians being able to serve.
I like the Roman idea. 1 year.
No, 1 year is probably a little bit too short because we don't have an election every year.
No,
Not yet.
just a
Yes.
lottery.
Just a lottery.
A lottery.
Yeah, that's like what was it? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, just a lottery. You just pull out the name of a random person and they get to be in charge.
And
if
they
they're a
shouldn't.
total moron, you're in luck. And if they think they're clever, you're up shit's creek.
And the best thing obviously would be not to let them know.
Oh, no, because it depends if they're a decorative head or a functional head.
Well, no, they should be decorative. Sorry, they should be functional.
Because
And
we've
someone
got a
else.
decorative head of state.
Well, yeah, you should have a functional head of state and a decorative one. And the functional one should know that he's the head of state.
Or her. Or her.
Seriously, women leaders? Nah.
Yep. Yep.
You'd
Big
think
fan.
after Theresa May, you'd come back from that one.
No, I'm a big fan. I'm all for more women in power.
Yeah, I don't
Don't
care.
make
Do you
fun.
want them on top?
Nothing. You need enough evidence to debunk the feminists.
True that. Well, they'll ignore it anyway. I mean, Theresa May was leader of the UK for a few years, and still in England they were talking about how women have a glass ceiling, and that's not even counting the bloody Queen. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, there you have it.
Michael Kelly, you ageist you. She's younger than me. Oh, 66. No, she's older than me. That makes
Yeah.
more sense.
I calculated wrong. I was still in the north.
I was going to say I was still a teenager when I was admiring her figure on the television.
Admiring her.
Admiring her figure on the television.
What?
Catherine Bach.
Not Theresa May, Modrin.
Oh, okay.
Relax, it's not that.
We're talking about
Okay.
something important. Daisy Duke.
Yes. The what's the car thingy named? Forgot. The
Dukes
one.
of Hazzard.
Yes, that's the one. She was good looking though.
No.
Yeah, she
Don't
was.
say.
She
You
was.
don't say. That's not what we're talking about for the last 10 minutes.
There were two reasons why I love that show. Number one, Daisy Duke. Number two, the CB radio.
CB?
Yeah, the radio.
Oh, no, I like
The ham
liked it.
radio. I think they call it ham in America.
No, Ham is the bigger one. CB is the statistician band. It's
Oh,
actually
okay.
the name.
I thought it was, but okay. So, but yeah, there is that.
The Hart Sisters? Who are the Hart Sisters?
I would not know, but for some stupid reason,
Sounds like a transplant.
Davies brought up the Hart Sisters.
I have
David,
no
can you
clue.
Elaborate, please.
No, me? Not got a clue.
And for some reason, I accidentally killed the Hangout thingy. So I have to find that screen again. It should still be working, so I'm not sure if I'm online. Can you guys check?
What, if you're online, I can hear you.
No. I
No,
mean
no,
the stream.
Yeah, there's a stream. I'm looking at it.
Okay, because I...
Okay, you're still on.
Good, that's good news. So then I have to figure out where the bloody thing is. Oh, it's always lovely to work with.
So, when do we start a crowdfund to build the wall around London?
There's a good chance they will do it themselves now, don't they?
Yeah, I didn't say it had to be our crowdfunded.
No, we don't need to. Just put all the Remoaners into London so they
It's
will
no
build the wall to
rocker.
protect themselves against the Brexiteers.
It's no rocker. Hart Sisters. Nope.
I have no idea what you're on about. Harp Sisters?
Heart. As in the thing in one's chest that pumps the blood round.
Oh, that thing. Then I still have no clue. But
No,
okay.
me neither. And apparently they're in music somehow.
Right. Okay.
It's
Probably
not talking
after my
about Michel
time.
Joe and Hart, right?
Sorry?
Surprised that
It's not
Davey-
talking about Michel Joe and Hart.
Probably, but they are shit, I'm guessing.
I'm surprised that Davey even thought that John was a rocker.
No, I'm into heavy stuff.
And
mate.
maybe he has a rocking chair, but
No. I listen to lots of dulcet tones of the likes of Metallica and Megadeth and Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath and
Well,
Girls' School. They were attractive young women who did the metal.
Girls' School?
Girls' School, very good.
I never heard of them. I used to work in a discotheque, and we had what's the name of that Terrible.
Oh, he was talking about the charity, the Heart Sisters, for women living with heart disease.
Heart Live, Crazy on You. Yeah, I said they were shit. That's not music, mate.
No, what I was talking about is really not music. It was
If
a
you
bunch
want to
of.
find attractive women musicians, you won't beat the Cause.
I wouldn't know.
The Cause, they were very easy on the eye.
An Irish group. Very popular in the
Right,
90s.
okay. Well, what's her face? She was good looking as well. Kate Bush?
No.
Oh, yeah, she was good looking. Was, though. Have you seen her now? Well,
No, not Kate Bush, no. That was a dark period in the music history of my
really?
What
What?
about Bjork?
Sorry?
What about Bjork?
What about
I never
Bjork?
liked- I never liked Bjork.
Bjork!
Oh, I have her
actually,
first album. I
she-
have her first album.
she was-
Two of the tracks.
She was pretty good when she was still part of the... I forgot the name of that band.
I know who you mean, but I can't remember.
Before she went solo.
Ice Cubes?
No. Oh, fucking hell. And I really liked... I still have a CD of those guys somewhere.
That's something to admit to.
But she was like... Yeah, she's not really a backup singer in it, but... I think that's the best way of describing it.
No, I cannot say I was a...
The Sugar Cubes, that's the one. There you go. Cubes!
Yeah, I said Cubes.
You said
Yep,
cubes.
ice cubes.
Yes.
Yeah, but I said Cubes, so I was on the right line. Considering it's a 30-odd-year-old memory...
Guys, we have to be honest. John likes being like a grandfather's clock that's no longer working, but still being right twice a day.
Yes. that's a pretty good description. Well done.
Yeah, welcome. But yeah, no, the Sugar Cubes. And the Sugar Cubes were really fun. And Bjork was like a backup singer in that. And it's not fair because she was sometimes also being a lead singer. But yeah, and in the Sugar Cubes she was pretty good. And then she went solo. And oh my god, everything I liked about it instantly evaporated. That's,
She should have been also quiet.
well,
Follow by example.
yeah. I prefer the women's.
No, da women's, not the women. Da women's.
Right.
Well, he lives in Birmingham. I mean, crikey, you got to cut him some slack. It's a minority British city now, I heard.
Birmingham as well.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest cities are, it seems. I'm wondering how it is in the Netherlands.
Well, walls. This is a solution. Lots of walls. And passports. We could be like South Africa with lots of free states in the middle.
Yeah, but they kind of have that because people are being murdered.
No, they've had it for a long time, mate. Because they have
Yes.
different...
Called deserts.
No, there were all these states, and they're all little tribal kingdoms. And we would do the same, except there would be little independent Muslim state here and a little independent Muslim state there.
All right. Could be true.
No, not true. I'm proposing it. The United Kingdom. That we set up lots of the independent states that have nothing to do with the rest of us. But we have lots of watchtowers and machine guns.
Londonistan.
Londonistan. Well, let me look at... If we look at Rotterdam, there are areas in Rotterdam where the Dutch are actually In some cases, even one of the smaller minorities.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting.
But then again, it's Rotterdam.
Which
Yeah,
is a big city in the Netherlands. So yeah, there is that.
That could be Rotterdam or anywhere, Liverpool or Rome.
Oh dear. Was that the beautiful South?
I can't remember.
Someone like that.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find a total. Nope, I can't find a total. Thank God they make it easier. So you have to calculate the total yourself. Yeah, that
You mean
makes...
add up.
Yeah, but no, because they have areas, and then they have from that area, 13% is this, 20% is that, 21% is blah blah blah, and then there are other areas, and everything is basically given in percentages, but not in raw numbers.
Yeah, that's because they don't want you to actually know.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it seems like, to be honest. Because if I look at this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, almost 30 places, 30 areas within Rotterdam. Dutch is 50% or lower. And then about 40 places, Rotterdam is a really big place, the Dutch are above 50%. So we're not, I don't think they're going to be a full minority within Rotterdam just yet. But there are places where they are the minority. Amazing. It's something people don't really think about.
You've got one advantage. If you get fed up of an area, you can just return it to the sea.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, there is that. I'm sorry. Hiccup, hiccup, hiccup. Power pallets are boring. Here's
They
something
are.
going on. I don't know if power pallets are boring.
Well, they depend
Oh, they
on
are.
it and girl bands.
No, power ballads
Very
are
bad
naff,
case.
period. It was a very infamous period of musical history.
Right, okay. I found a slightly better calculus of Rotterdam. So for the whole city, 48% is Dutch, and then everything else is something else. I don't understand that. That's like half of the city. So yeah, okay, they are a minority, but they're the biggest minority group.
That sounds like scant conversation.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Not scant consolation.
Yeah, seems a good enough reason for me to say, well, maybe we need to look at that shit as well.
A Dutch government has tweet poll asking people to boycott British products.
Really?
Really?
That's just coming from Sargon.
I never.
Oh, look. That is really wise, isn't it?
The
that is
Dutch,
just-
I've never heard of that, because in the past they were always like, well, we don't want them to leave, but we understand it, and we don't want them to leave, but I mean, the Dutch are probably the biggest trading partner on short distance with the UK. Mostly because we're the shortest distance, I guess, but still.
Wouldn't that be the French tunnel there?
The tunnel isn't that great of a transport thingy. Or probably is now, but yeah, maybe.
Sorry.
There's still loads of ships going from the Netherlands to England.
Of course, because it's a far more efficient method.
Yes.
The tunnel's more a passenger line.
Which doesn't really make sense because I'd say the boat is still nicer.
Well, it depends.
Depends on the weather.
No, it depends where. Like, if you're leaving London and you're going to Paris or Brussels, the train makes more sense.
Yeah, because then you can take the train to Brussels.
Yeah. Or Paris.
But anywhere else, you'd rather go by car and boat.
Why not by plane?
Because you can't take your car with you on a plane.
Why would
You
you?
used to be able to. Way back in the 60s, we did.
Well, why would you? Because then you can drive around. What? You want to go to the plane station and from there, airport. It's not called a plane
used to have
station.
the-
The PE40s don't count as cars.
And the nose tipped up and you had 3 cars would fit in the plane.
Right.
I just put the link into the chat in the main.
On the Reddit one. Dutch government tweets poll asking people if they will boycott English products. An official Dutch government, yada yada blah blah blah.
But while they are asking to do so, German government actually started banning British products
I can't even
and
believe it.
contracts and collaborations and so on.
Yeah, but the Germans are simply stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you just ask people.
I mean, if you can have a debate in what's basically your House of Commons, and the debate is about how migrants are attacking civilians, and the response is yes, we're going to crack down on white supremacy. I'm sorry, there's no hope for you. Germany is lost.
But
I know you're going to miss us.
Oh, what
I
the
know
hell?
you want to ban our national flags.
Go
but
off
we're gonna
with
wait
you.
Good.
Sorry.
I thought that was good timing. But it says, if they will boycott British products and holidays because the UK no longer wants to belong. That is the saltiest of ex-girlfriend talk, that is.
Right. Okay. So this is this. I see the tweet. If the United Kingdom or England don't want to be part of the European Union, I assume, I will no longer give money to English products or holidays to England.
Yeah.
It's a tweet.
It's real bitter breakup talk.
But it's amazing. I don't know where this is coming from.
Well, I mean, like, let's be fair here. We're not going to force him to come here if he doesn't want to.
Well, yeah, there is that. I can imagine the response on this tweet being 2 fingers up.
No more marmite for him.
But no, I mean
Take the Australian
it's the Ministry of Finance, so it's not an individual. So we can't point to one person saying this. It's the Ministry of Finance.
Well, they need to know if they have to raise taxes or not.
Well, that's going to be fun because every European country needs to raise their taxes because English was a pro-contributor. But then again, so was the Netherlands, so guess what? We're going to have to raise taxes. But it's amazing. I didn't see this one. Well, then again, I'm not that active on Twitter and I don't follow any of the political parties. But yeah, this is something that people will start asking questions about, I'm sure of.
Well, it's like this. There are lots of people in Britain who have an over attachment to Europe, and there are
Or the European Union.
European Union, but they call it Europe. To them,
Yeah, but that's
in their
wrong.
mind, it's one. I know. I don't care. They're morons. But in
You are
their
the
mind-
grammar Nazi. You need to be
No,
correct.
in their mind, it's the same thing. I am reporting
Well, they
what
are
they
out of
think.
their mind.
Yes, fine. I don't care. I am merely reporting about them, okay? And I'm saying that they have this attitude. They think because
Well-
we left the European Union, we are leaving Europe.
Right,
That is
guys,
their-
guys.
Start the engine, drive the island off.
I'm trying to find the original tweet.
But
I can't.
there will be
I
people
can
in
send you
Europe
it.
with the same delusion. And all they need to understand is reciprocation.
Let me see. I don't have the tweet, but it's been reported by a number of different sources.
Either they removed it or it's a fake.
Well, that seemed to be what it was saying on that thread.
What? That it's a fake?
Yeah.
Um,
It said about verifying.
no. And the independent.co.uk reported it. But
Yeah, well, they're fake news, so...
Yeah, but all news is fake news when something
No,
they
but
say
there
doesn't.
are the worst but people for that. Guardian and the Independent are way up at the top.
Well, I'm trying to. I'm
find
scrolling down. I'm scrolling down the the Ministry of Finance tweets, and I can't find it.
It's 11:10 a.m. January 31st, 2020. Did you get that?
Yes, that would be today. Well, 2 days
January
ago.
31st.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Friday.
I'm now scrolling through it, and I'm at
11:10
17
a.m.
December, so I'm already at last year.
No, I can see it right here. But it's not on Twitter, but I see a tweet at Financian.
Yes, but that's the
Ministry,
thing. I can
Check
see
the
the
archive
tweet
log.
on the Independent page, but I can't see the tweet on Twitter. So
Well,
the question is
archive
it a
log.
real tweet?
Who cares?
Well,
It
I
has
do.
entered the urban folklore.
But if I go here, what does happen?
There we go. The poll has since been deleted with no further comment from the account.
I mean, what we seem to know is that sometimes enthusiastic individuals take control of things they oughtn't to have control of.
Oh right, okay. So here, this is a tweet that I do find, and I'll translate it as I say. Earlier today, we published a weekly poll on Twitter with a wink to our followers to go into the conversation about the actualities. We understand in hindsight that the position taken of today was wrong, and that's why we removed it. Hashtag Brexit. So
Yeah, it
they
was a
did
little
make the post.
inflammatory, I think is what they're saying.
Sorry?
A little inflammatory.
Um,
It's what it was. It was a little inflammatory. It was not well.
yeah. The way they say it is, we've got the feeling that it got received wrong. But yeah, you could call it
They can't
inflammatory
say
too.
we fucked up.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a real tweet, but it might not have been meant the way it was put out there. Yada yada blah blah blah. Still stupid of them, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying. They realised their mistake and they took it back. And I'm all for not flagellating people for being human.
Well, they did say sorry, so yeah, should be over and done with then.
Yeah,
Even though, yes, it was stupid.
it was stupid. They realised their mistake. They stopped.
Yeah, I agree with you. John.
We're not leftists. We don't never forgive.
Well, that's unforgivable that you think that. How can you say that? There are things that are unforgivable. Being a
just
feminist.
remember,
Three crosses from Harry
everything,
Potter.
everything is unforgivable. It just depends when.
Or with whom?
No, just when. No,
Sorry. That is silly me.
no, it's perfectly fine now. In 10 years, it'll be terrible. And then in another 10 years, it'll be laudable.
Yes, and then you're too late to say you're sorry, therefore we need to now silence you forever and ever and ever. Don't you just like
Yeah, I mean,
cancel
you think,
culture?
right, if they had Twitter back 40 years ago, how many people would be so stunning and brave calling people queer?
Well, I mean, there was a period of time when that was actually a compliment.
Not in my lifetime.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
no.
I know, because in the Netherlands there was a period of time when people would
Maybe in the Netherlands, but not in Britain.
Yes, I'm sorry, I forgot. Well, in the civilized world,
Germany.
well, in Germany too, actually, yes, where being queer was considered. I mean, it wasn't considered an insult; it was considered
Okay, so
a
why
badge
are
of
you using
honor
a
or
British,
something.
an English word?
How queer.
I don't know, baby, because we try to get you guys to realize that there's more to the world.
What, that by copying our language?
We gave you new words.
Double Dutch,
Like kindergarten.
Dutch
Kindergarten.
cousin,
Those are not new words; those are expressions.
and
John.
kindergarten is not used in English. It's only used in American.
Who cares? They
I
speak
do.
English too.
No, they speak American.
But that's why I don't understand them.
But I can't blame my present government for decision taken in 1972. True, difficult to do
Well,
that.
you see, technically you can blame your president for that.
Yeah, but it's not the government from
It's not a valid blame.
the
but
government from then doesn't
Leftists
act
blame people for the actions of the distant past all the time. So it is possible to blame people. It's just not valid. That's the difference.
or useful. But yeah, there is that. Is there a link between religion and the hatred of homosexuality?
Not according to teachings of the holy feminism.
I'm not sure, to be honest, but what we do see with the rise of
Skywalker.
no, with the rise of how do you call it, atheism, people start looking into different ways to fill the gap. And I know I did this myself as well. At first, you start by not so much challenging the points religion makes, but actually go against the points religion makes. It's almost like a teenage kid rebelling against the parents. And after a while, you stop rebelling.
Is this a confession?
No, this is something that is true for a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm going to say, but it's a confession because it's not true for me.
Well, some people still don't recognize it.
Not about recognising.
But yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people that went into atheism turned against religious dogma and went so far as to go against normality as well. And
But that's probably because in your backward countries, as far as I remember, going back to the mid-70s, no one had a problem with homosexuals. There are portions of people who have bigotries, right?
yeah,
There are still portions of people who have bigotries, but they're isolated pockets. But most people couldn't give a monkey's.
yeah, and that's the truth of it. People just didn't care. And there wasn't a reason to care because
And so this religious aspect to it is a chimera for the most part,
Yeah.
because it wasn't. We look at some more fundamentalist attitudes in, say, the United States, and then we appropriate that to Britain when it never applied here.
yeah, and the same is kind of true for the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But
No.
what happened is it's kind of like a pendulum swing sort of thing. So it seemed to be all on one side for a long time, and then it swang, and then it's all over to the other side. And now we see it swinging back, because what we're seeing in most Western countries is that we see a decline in the support for LGBTQ. Even though, and this is the funny thing, we don't see a rise in people not liking gay people for being gay, but the whole forced acceptance thing.
And the degeneracy.
And the degeneracy. We see a huge decline in that, which is a good thing, don't get me wrong. And I know of plenty a gay person who simply doesn't identify as LGBTQ because he simply doesn't agree with what it stands for. And yeah, you have those pride marches and all that. They wouldn't be found dead at those places because they hate it. According to most gay people I know, they fought for the right to be seen as equal because they want to be seen as equal, not as some kind of freak show. And they kind of see what LGBTQ movement now is kind of like a freak show.
Well, it's a difference between the people and exploitative, insincere, fundamentalist ideologues.
Yeah, probably.
No, it is. It's like most of the people who advocate for various minorities are not of those various minorities. They're just
happy accidents.
yeah.
No.
So yeah, there's a problem in that. I believe that almost all groups, almost always, are looking after the thing to hate or exploits. Well, yeah, it's the scapegoat.
No, but the point I was making is that if you have people who hate gays, they will use their religion to justify the hatred, but it's not the religion that causes the hatred, it's the hatred, and then they find the religious excuses to justify that.
Makes sense.
It's just a matter of causality. Because one of the problems with a lot of ideologies is you can basically support or oppose anything from the same ideology, you just have to frame it right.
Yeah.
Just look at feminism. Trans-exclusionary, intersectional.
Yeah, but I mean, I simply cannot understand that intersectionality actually gained traction, because intersectionality is literally, I want to bitch and moan at everything I don't have and then say that everyone should give me what I just bitched and moaned about.
No. Intersectionality was actually a cunning manipulation by women to deflect from their female supremacy.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, not really, because it was only the women doing it.
Yeah, but they also started then using the idea of, well, it's not just women, because I'm a woman of color, and that's something that is worth mentioning as well.
No, that wasn't the point. The point is, if they blatantly say, oh, it's women, okay, we see through the bullshit. But then they can say, oh, and there are all these other oppressions. And then it's like, oh, but I'm not black and I'm fighting for black people, so I'm a caring person. It's all deflection and lies and smokes and mirrors and bullshit.
Well, that is true.
But who ends up on top? The feminists. I won't say women, because women get sacrificed.
Oh, no, feminism don't care about women. Jesus didn't hate hookers. No, but feminists do.
Well, some of them are feminist. A lot of sex workers claim to be feminists.
Yeah, but that's the funny thing, though. I mean, they claim to be feminists, but feminism itself speaks out against it.
No, this is my point, because you've got sex positive feminism and sex negative feminism. And so you can support any position you like.
Yeah, there's no real rules to feminism. They just...
No, yeah.
It's
And
women
always remember, If feminists wouldn't have double standards, they wouldn't have standards at all.
Yeah, that is very true.
Only a feminist could invent a Swedish model. The Swedish model, it is not illegal to sell your body for sex. It is illegal to buy sex. So quite how that's supposed to work when you can sell your body, but no one's allowed to buy it.
Well,
Yeah.
Switzerland can top that. Feminists in Switzerland made it possible that 16-year-old girls can choose every profession they want to choose, including becoming hookers.
Uh-huh.
But men who would book those underage hookers would go into prison for obvious
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's the Swedish model. It's illegal to buy sex. So not just the underage ones, any of them is illegal.
Yeah.
But yeah. But still, feminists made it possible that they can become hookers. How shall they learn? How shall they train? Well, who cares anyway? But they
Oh, no,
are
see,
not
that's-
allowed to sell and so on.
No,
The
that's
feminist hypocrisy.
that's a feminist ideology. You see, a woman is free to do anything she wants.
But the man needs to be punished for.
No, it's just that no market for the service is allowed to exist. Yes, we heard that one, David. David, we talked about that the other week. It's about 10 years old.
What?
The woman in Germany who was told that she had to
Oh yeah,
take any...
That's some time ago. We actually had a live stream about it. I remember.
Yeah.
That's some time ago.
David was asking about it. Yeah, we talked about that one.
Yeah. Yeah. How weird is that? Well, you're unemployed. Yeah, so give me a job. Well, we've got a job for you. You can become a hooker. Well, I don't want to. Hey, listen, you're now refusing a job. Fucking hell.
And rugby's a horrible game. I just want to say.
Rugby is a horrible game, and this has to do with.
There's a hooker in rugby.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing.
No, you didn't say that. You said a hooker. You didn't say what kind.
You knew what kind we were talking about. Hell, you're the one who said, "Oh, well, we did."
I know what kind. I keep telling you, it's my job to use misunderstanding and double entendres. It's not logical, William. It's bullshit. It's if a transaction is legal, it's legal, and if it's not legal, it's the seller who gets punished. That's how it works in every other fucking industry.
But this would mean consequences for women. You can't have that.
Exactly, and that's why it's bullshit. It's like, no, you can't make it legal to sell your body for sex, but illegal to buy. Nonsense.
Yeah.
And the conversation stops.
Yeah. Why not make it legal? Because it's already half legal. Well, it's not half legal. In some countries, it actually
No,
is
it's
legal.
half legal. This is what I'm saying. Is in Sweden, it is half legal because the woman could do her half. Just the man cannot do his.
Well, a woman can't buy either.
No, but it used to be like that in Britain in the 19th century. It was not illegal to be a prostitute. It was illegal to use a prostitute, and it was illegal to live off the earnings of a prostitute as long as you were a man.
I think I just have found a workaround for that illegal thing. A woman can sell her body for sex. A man can agree to buy her postpaid, but after he's done, he just leaves. It doesn't actually pay her.
Surely that's the wrong way round. Surely he agrees to not pay her and then just happens to leave a tip. which
That's
had
another
just
possibility.
by coincidence is the amount you would have charged worse you're charging.
Well, I mean, there is an old saying that if you want to, for a government to make their money go around better, is to have women tax themselves based on their own beauty.
That is cunning. A cunning plan.
That's a cunning
Contact
plan. Indeed.
4chan, we need to make that into a thing.
No, it's not even mine. I mean, it's an old. I can't remember
Yeah,
where
but
it's
remind
from.
the boomers, you know.
You have to remind the boomers. I just did. No, it's not the boomers that need reminding on this one. I think it's
No, it's the millennials.
yeah,
Yeah, them too.
yeah, them too, definitely. Well, I'm just looking at Amsterdam, the demography of Amsterdam, and there are 1, 2, 3 areas within Amsterdam where Dutch are actually not the biggest minority. So yeah, that's funny.
So, are they a minority or are they?
Well, in the whole of Amsterdam, they're not a minority, but there are 3 areas in Amsterdam where they are not even the biggest minority. So
Yeah,
another
like
group
half
is
of London.
yeah, kind of like that.
Anyway, I'm out of beer again.
Yeah, you should stop drinking, mate.
Bio break.
This is a good one, Davey.
A woman complains to police she's been raped. The policeman says, "I know you're a hooker." She replies, "His check bounced." But let's be honest, that's not far from the truth, because with the whole idea of revoking consent behind the fact, yes, they're not the biggest minority. So they're already not the majority of the city because they're less than 50%, for example, or in the not in the whole city of Amsterdam, but in these areas of Amsterdam, they are less than 50%. But there are 2 places where they're even less than 20%, even though there is at least 1 group or 2 groups that have more than 20% in that area. So, for example, if we look at Belme Centrum, which is an area within Amsterdam, 18% of the population is Dutch, 41% is Surinamer, and 27% is non-European foreigner, but not specified as Moroccan, Turk, Antillan, or Surinamer. So there are 2 groups that are bigger than Dutch. In the Kolenkit, it's 18% Dutch, 33% Moroccan, 23% Turks. So there are 2 groups bigger than the group of Dutch. It's somewhat weird, because these are the things that the right-wing extremists, no, not right-wing extremists,
Both of them.
no, but this is what political parties in the 70s warned about, and they were put away as being
Yeah, well, that's a
doomsayers and all
leftist.
that.
That's a leftist tactic. Ridicule. Oh, too late. It's already happened.
Yeah. What was the name again from the guy from England that did the same thing? I forgot his name.
Enoch Powell.
Enoch Powell, yeah. But yeah, I mean, we had people like that in every country, I guess, and they were ridiculed, and well, I don't think they're laughing, but they weren't wrong.
It's not après-meridian. It's anti-meridian.
What?
Well, I don't know. David just written après-meridian, but the AM is anti-meridian.
Yeah. It's ante and post. But yeah, you can also say après meridium, and then everything is
Short band radio.
yeah.
The only après I appreciate is the après ski. That's when the booze comes into play.
Yeah, but I mean, meridian is post day, right? Midday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if everything is AP, then nothing is, right?
No,
No, it's not
exactly.
AP. It's either PM or AM.
Yes.
Never AP. It's not AP.
Yeah, AM. Sorry, AM.
No, it's like people write 12 p.m. and I'm going, okay, is that 12 p.m. noon or 12 p.m. midnight?
Which is
that's
actually
middle of
what
your
that's not a bad question actually. Because I mean, would it
That's
be?
why it's 12 noon. It's not a.m. or p.m. There's noon and midnight are specific boundaries.
Yeah, no, it's true. Or you say 11:59 p.m. or
And 50 seconds.
12:01 p.m. So, but you just put it over a certain thing so that
Or
people
you
know
just
what to
go,
talk about.
sod it, 24-hour clock. It's not ambiguous then.
Yeah, but then people don't understand it. I mean, I don't understand how, but there are still Americans who don't understand 1700 hours.
That's because they're Americans.
Yeah, that is kind of saying it all, isn't it?
But then again, look, modern, there are still people driving on the left side of the road.
Yeah, and we will forever.
No, you won't.
Even if you drive into
We
your
will. No, it is so impractical to switch.
But there's
Yeah,
a
well,
reason
in
for-
that case, stay on your island.
Yeah.
there is a reason for us driving on the left-hand side of the road, and it goes back to joisting.
Yes.
Because what you do is you'd be jousting with your right hand, and you'd have your lance in your right hand, and you'd be coming against the person with the lance in their right hand. And you'd be going on the left side, and they'd be going on the left side to get the nearest target area.
Yes. That's the same why staircase is always, if you're on a turn staircase,
Spiral staircase, yeah.
it always spirals in the same direction.
Except then there's a
What if they
castle.
switch halfway? You're in Hogwarts.
There is a castle in Scotland where lots of the family were born kind of with left-handedness. A lot of them came down, and so they all have the spiral staircases in the opposite direction.
But I'm not sure if that would have been wise. I
Uh,
mean, listen, it could be useful because, well, then we can use our left hand. Yes, but they can use their right hand, so... The idea is if you spiral so that they can't use their right hand, even if you can't do anything else and just shoot at them with bows.
Not fighting on the staircase. Just a suggestion.
Yeah, but if you can prevent people who want to fight you from getting to you, that's a good idea.
General civility and not fighting is a nice thing. Just
Fair enough, but that's not how
Why
most
are
countries
fighting
were
women
made.
all the time.
John
no,
hasn't got
but
his
we don't
mentality.
fight with weapons. We fight with barbs.
John hasn't got his siege mentality yet.
Yeah. He's got
Well, I'm
nothing
a
going for
bit
him.
old to develop one, mate.
You're never too old.
Oh, I am. I am quite resigned to my predicament.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So, but yeah, there is that.
That map looks... Oh, it's Russia. I was trying to work out what the little bit of grey in the top right... Well, not top right, but to the right of the Baltic Sea.
Yeah,
Well, that's part of
Russia and
Yeah, that-
Ukraine and Belarus.
No. It was the little bit between the blue. The enclave.
The enclave.
It's St. Petersburg.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but his map isn't very accurate at
It
all.
isn't.
Oh,
It
it's
isn't.
not accurate.
I know Switzerland is small, but it's not that small. Come on.
It's not?
No.
Oh. Well, let me see if I can find something
That
else.
is unlikely, Davey.
Well,
Left-handedness is definitely a regressive trait, I think.
I don't know why,
I-
but the island of Sicily looks like a little small man with an erection.
Now, don't make us start worrying about you, mate.
Don't be ludicrous.
Just remember, you've got a girlfriend now.
So yeah, okay. Let me.
You can't unsee it now.
I can.
Yeah, me too. No problem there.
I cannot see it. I can thoroughly.
I've been looking at the same European map for quite a while now. I'm thinking about maybe getting something else out there that's interesting to look at.
I think you're just paranoid, Davey.
Absolutely off topic, but maybe something fun to look at.
Were we ever on topic?
Not
Well,
really.
yeah, no, the first 20 minutes, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very optimistic.
Yeah, I think it's optimistic.
I think we were on topic for about 2 minutes.
I'm still celebrating. I don't know about the rest of you.
Well, John wasn't celebrating because he already had a failure in his power supply, so. Ha ha! Europe getting back at you.
So,
Yes.
sorry, can you remind me, Ludicrous, are there 32 counties in Ireland?
Well, there are, in total, if you include Northern Ireland, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So there are 26 toxic threats. 26 of the 32 counties are in the EU, and the remaining 6 are clinging tenuously to the British Free State. I think we should call it the British Free State in a very sick joke way. Almost 100 years after the Irish Free State, ironically.
Yeah, they're having their anniversary celebrations of the uprising in 2018.
I thought the uprising 2016.
That was,
1916, should I say?
um,
They commemorated the Easter Rebellion.
yeah.
If a horse stays too long in the water, it will drown.
Michael, you know some
As they
dumb
can't
shit.
close their asses, it'll take up lots of water. I did not know that, Michael.
That's why you never should go into a sea or lake with your horse.
Hey, trust me, I don't have a horse, so it's not a problem.
But I thought horses could swim.
But not for very long.
Well, no, apparently.
To answer your question, Davey, there are orange marches all throughout the year in Northern Ireland and in the Republic of Ireland and in Scotland.
Yeah, I was going to say in Scotland.
I think Liverpool might have one as well.
I've never heard of one in Liverpool, but that means nothing. I heard 18% of British citizens are of Irish descent.
Okay. I didn't know that was. But then again, the English and the Irish are pretty close intertwined. I mean, we could pretend that it's not the case, but.
No one pretends it's not the case.
Well,
Anxious?
Well, the word for Scots was Scotus, originally meant Irish person.
Well, after the fall of the Roman Empire, Hibernians, which means Irish people, moved en masse to that bottom corner of Scotland, the borders. And then 1,000 years later, we repaid the privilege by sending them back again.
yeah, there is that. I knew about the Scots and the Liverpudlians.
I think it's talking about the Orange Marches.
Oh, those ones. Okay.
It's why the Liverpudlians have such a strange accent compared to the rest of England.
How are you today, Anxious Ozzy?
Hi, anxious. Oh,
Hi
yeah.
there, anxious.
I heard they declared a state of emergency in Canberra. Is it okay?
Why did it start raining again?
No, for the fires. And this was yesterday.
Oh, right. I thought the fires were dying down because of the rain. Well, I
As
guess.
I say, this was a state of emergency. I read yesterday around Canberra.
Yeah, right, all right. I didn't know. I haven't looked into it for a while now. Been otherwise occupied. I am curious how things are going with the fires in Australia, though. And now everyone is waiting for an answer.
Yeah, buggered. Smoke has been messing with me. So is it really that bad in Canberra? Because all I read
But only politicians get smoked. Can it be bad?
Anxious, you want to join and give us an update on how things are going?
She says 1/4 of the ACT has been burnt already. I assume ACT is the area.
Australian coastal territory? Australian coastal territory?
I don't know. Could look it up.
So that's what I'm saying. Anxious, you want to join in and give us an update?
Yes, because we are. Well, I am. Cannot speak for anyone else concerned.
Well,
Give her time.
It's a long distance to Australia.
She comes from a land down under.
yeah. I'm sorry to hear it's so bad. I'm especially sorry that it's because it seemed to have become how do you call it? Like talking points to prove certain political narratives, which is to me it's weird. Yeah, I don't understand that. That's the case.
It's a shame it became political, because if they wouldn't have listened to the Green Party, they could have prevented everything, I think.
Well, maybe not everything, but it could have presented some.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
And I mean, there are plenty of reasons why things are shit as they are, but somehow it's all about the narrative. No, it must be global warming. All right, it's kind of
Yeah,
like
if
If
you
you
want-
want to be global warming, this fire burns up more CO2 than everything else.
If
And
you
why
want,
does it exist? Because of the green. Because it didn't want to burn it down. Hell yeah, self-fulfilling prophecy.
well, if you want bad advice, listen to a progressive. That's all I can say. The exact worst advice possible. That's what they come up with.
We'll try and cheer you up, Anxious, okay?
Ask for asylum in Switzerland, anxious. I made some fresh chili. But careful, it might be hot.
Don't tell Toxic she'll be out to have some. She loves that stuff.
what, chili?
Yeah.
4
Have you
liters
used-
mass and 10 7-pot chilies. About 1 million Scoville each.
All right.
If you give me some candle wax, I'll try and eat them.
Like Homer Simpson.
Yes.
You on? Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
It's getting old. Late. I mean, I'm getting old.
Freudian, right?
Freudian, very much so.
Or do you wanna play the
video.
the video with John and I doing the Brexit the psychodrama?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me first try if. Hey, where are you? Let's. And I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do that. Guys, I'm not going to share it in Hangout. Because
No,
when I
that's
share it in
okay.
Hangout, it just blinks.
Yeah, it's a bit naff, isn't it?
I'm not sure why, but yeah, it's pretty naff. Transitioning and starting. The latest work of Ludicrous Leprechaun. That's what I said.
As a tribute to the slaughter of Theresa May's plan in Parliament, I feel I need to mark the occasion. I have decided to honour the occasion by demolishing another Remoaner myth, by using their very own evidence, logic, and rules. During the lead up to the Leave vote, scaremongering stories were circulated which stated that, in the event of a Leave vote, then dire consequences would befall those former UK citizens residing in EU states, in effect creating a questionably legal hostage situation. Now there is a thought that just occurred to me. If the UK citizens in the EU zones come to any harm which was instigated by the individual states, would this be a case for the European Court of Human Rights? Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to run with the hypothetical situation for a moment, so bear with me. Say we reach an impasse on the 29th of March, and it is a no-deal Brexit, or Brexit as I like to call it. Then the countries of the EU all decide that the UK expats who have bought houses in Spain or are paying tax in France are now illegal. What is their next move? Eviction? Expulsion? Imprisonment? If any of these routes are taken, then those people can still go to the European Court of Human Rights and say that they are being unjustly persecuted for their background. I can state the European Court of Human Rights as it is not part of the EU. It is independent, and the UK will still remain part of that body after Brexit. I say background because I've noticed in all the anti-discrimination and diversity documents that companies ask employees to fill in, it specifically asks what your background is. So what we would have is a group of people across the EU being discriminated against due to their background. How would that not make the EU look dictatorial? What is also to be considered is that a Convention of Rights was decided not because everyone agreed that genocide was bad. They were decided as an agreement between states that we won't do these horrendous things to you if you promise never to do it to us. If the EU does anything, then that will give other jurisdictions free rein to say, well, if the EU can do this to UK citizens, then it's okay for us to do something similar to insert minority here. Anyway, let's go back to the myth busting. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that all the expats or students or workers within the EU all were deemed illegal on March 30th. Then I will show you why there will be absolutely no problem. Of course, there are going to be EU citizens who react angrily to the suggestions from the past 5 seconds of footage I just showed. But, of course, they are just bigots who do not care about the suffering of illegal immigrants.
Prime Minister
Come off it, you bloody computer. There you go. That was a funny one, though. When the Poles went to Ireland, John, when did the Irish have slaves? That's not nice. Polish people are nice too. Well, they can
No,
be.
he said,
You have to say that because yeah.
No, she's too bad. She's sleeping now.
no. Davy said
Yes,
the
everything.
abolition of Irish slavery, and I said, when did the Irish have slaves? Not my fault. He expressed himself rather vaguely.
Right. I'm sorry, people, but yes, that's his mood for today. Anywho.
I disagree, Davy. I think pole dancers are very good labourers.
I'm not sure if you could call it labour, to be honest.
Hey, potato. That's all I'm saying.
It could lead to labor.
Could lead.
No, that's rape. We don't support rape. No,
What? Of the pole?
no the dancer.
Well, it depends on which pole she dances.
Well, she's going to get pregnant.
You know, John, I never thought you were such a misogynist, but women can consent, you know.
I know they
No,
can.
can't.
No, they can't.
And they can't.
Oh, no, that's true. All heterosexual sex is rape. Some very wise feminist said so once.
Isn't that a contradictus in terminus?
And that's why all women must be lesbians and then film it and put it on the internet.
Put it on the. And can you imagine, though? I mean, then you have feminist movies with feminist leads,
There are
and they
feminist
still
porn.
fail. No.
There is feminist
No. Remember that the Batgirl series was a thing.
No, thank you.
Well,
Bad woman.
You're cruel.
Yeah.
You're cruel, you are.
But
So-
Reminding me of that.
moderate,
but
did
there
know
you have
some-
women running around in leotards, and still men wouldn't watch it because misogyny.
Yeah, well, when you've got beach volleyball, why would you look at leotards? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, fair point.
And just wait until Germany makes their first feminist porn. They have their TV station, I think that's ZDF, the second channel, to make feminist porn financed officially by the SPD, that's the Socialist Party.
Yeah. That's brilliant as well. The government going into porn. But then again, it's the same government
They
that
have
said that.
work and they believe, well,
Yeah, it's the
the
same
rest-
government that
Well,
basically told
you've got
the
to
woman
say
that she
they're
goes to
taking
have-
their socialism seriously.
Yes, well, has a heart attack.
No, seriously, I mean, it's all right talking about the means of production, but they're really going into the whole social experience.
But yeah, it's the same. It's the same government that basically told a woman, well, yeah, if you want to stay on welfare, you have to accept any job. So yeah, being a prostitute is a job too. I'm bringing that one back. But oh well.
Yeah, well, I've heard Swedish porn is even worse than the German porn, so I believe you, Davey.
Is Swedish porn worse? I've been told they have
Yeah.
beautiful women. Well, had beautiful women.
They also
2 decades ago.
have donkeys. I'm just saying, I've heard.
why is the face
In
turning
porn?
red, John?
I wouldn't know about that one, John.
No, seriously, right. So way back in the 80s, right, when Britain literally, porn was illegal until the end of the 80s in Britain. And there was these articles in the broadsheet newspapers about British women, and they would go to Scandinavia, have bestiality sex for videos, right? I remember reading one, and it said, they said, well, do you mind? And she said, no, it's fine, as long as no one I know gets to see it.
Reading.
But John, there's one thing you have to consider about that. You know, would you prefer to have sex with a feminist or a donkey? You know, I mean,
I prefer the feminist to have the sex with the donkey. That's the point.
You have it. Banana and pole dancing are all part of the same idea.
No, anxious. You're behind the time. They've canned the idea for a porn license.
no, UK is the least restrictive UK laws, UK porn laws in the European.
It is ironic that in order to make it possible to have a license, they had to massively free up the regulations, and then they freed up the regulations, dropped the idea for the license, and now we've got very unrestricted rules.
Yeah.
Yes, poor donkey, anxious Aussie, absolutely.
I told you he's in trouble.
Yeah, donkeys sound dumb. He would have known, John. He would have known.
Well, I hate to say this, but you know how there's no rude stuff supposedly on YouTube?
Well, there
There-
is, but
No, I said supposedly.
yeah.
There is actually a documentary about, I think she's Swedish woman from the beginning of the 70s who had sex with horses.
Yeah, I
And
don't see the attraction.
That is on YouTube.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ask me how I came across it, but I'm like, what the fuck is this? I can't
Recommendation?
believe what I'm what. I mean, it's like I couldn't believe there was that content anywhere, let alone on YouTube.
Well, John, you know the recommendation algorithm is like that.
Well, trust me, it is. You watch something harmless by Noel Plum. The next thing you know, there's women having sex with horses.
This
I mean, I
is
heard
not-
today. Who was it? Somebody said there are videos on YouTube of women going to the toilet.
I didn't know that, but at the same
No,
time...
neither did I. And I'm going, what? Why?
I think it's that. What's that number? That rule again in the.
34.
You're kind of literate in this porn sector, John.
Yeah, because I listen to people like Teal Deer, who does a stream every year on the stats on Pornhub.
Yeah, but not on YouTube.
No, he does a YouTube video about the stats on Pornhub.
Yeah, I know, but you're talking about porn on YouTube.
Yeah, there is
Or
porn
silly,
on YouTube.
silly shit on YouTube. Well, there shouldn't be any. They keep telling us that they...
Educational videos. Educational videos.
Oh, wow.
I was actually presented with a thumbnail, and the thumbnail was basically an erect penis.
Well, there's not only that. There are films on YouTube.
Have
Yeah.
they taken
If
them
you-
down
porn
already?
film- Porn films on YouTube. You can search for them if you want.
Yeah, you know what? I don't really want to, but now I'm curious.
No, but as I say, it kept coming up in my recommendations, this erect penis as a thumbnail, and I'm like, what the fuck is that doing in my recommendations?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. But then again, my recommendation nowadays is only Fox
No, I get
News
lots
and
of dicks.
CNN.
Piers
and-
Morgan.
But it all depends on your search history, sir.
Yeah, I know, but I had nothing.
But I don't usually search
Seriously,
anything on
nothing.
YouTube. I mean, I used to do searching YouTube.
I
but
don't
it-
search.
When I made
But
when I made response videos, I used to search, but nowadays I don't search anything. Really weird.
It comes to
You
you.
get recommended it for sure, so you don't need to search anymore, or
Voilà. I don't know.
I have limits to my respectability as well, anxious Aussie. The rest is fun.
I know I have a respectable limits.
And I have limits to my respectability.
Right. You pay them to refuse to take off their clothes and calling their viewers incels. But isn't that with what was it now? There was this thought on I forgot the webpage.
Thought?
Twitch.
Oh, there's lots of thoughts on Twitch.
Yeah, it's big there. And she was complaining about people not paying to watch her stuff, I think. I can't pretend to know the real story because I only glanced over it, but it's really funny. How dare you not pay me for me making a spectacle of myself?
Easy, I won't watch.
Yeah, I mean, that's my point. But at the same time, if you put yourself out there for free and then you want people to pay you for it, then you shouldn't have put yourself out there for free.
Well,
it depends how that person looks like. If she's ugly enough, people will start to pay, so that person will put on clothes.
Well,
disagreement and harassment is also a fine line.
disagreement and jokes are a fine line.
As I keep finding out.
Anyway, considering the time and considering we are falling silent time and again.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat. It's quite amusing.
And I'm an introvert.
And a moral, fine, upstanding member of the leprechaun community.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I would. So, someone asked me if your better half, other half, was going to be Mrs. Leprechaun, and I said, as she's Polish, I wasn't sure.
Polish pixie.
Because a
Polish
Polish
pixie.
leprechaun sounds far too much like breaking the immigration thing.
Yeah. A bit cultural appropriation too.
Yeah, that too. But I don't think the Poles care about that, but they do. They are strict on their immigration rules.
Polish pixie.
Okay. Lepsel. Is that a battery?
I think he's questioning whether it's incel.
No, I think he's trying to imply you're not hooked up with a fine young woman of Eastern European origin.
Who knows?
She'd argue Central European. She's very fussy about that.
Yeah, Eastern Central.
They're not Central European. They're
Union
not.
remains union.
Well, I mean,
Well, it depends. If Germany's Western, then Poland is Central.
But Germany calls itself center of Europe, which is wrong.
Yeah,
because
well,
it's
I
Switzerland.
think that's to do with their designs over owning Europe.
well, they've been trying to do that for as far as history goes back.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's why they're the centre of Europe. But that's not the same as being in the middle of Europe.
True. That is very true.
See, if you actually look at the map on the screen,
which is wrong.
Germany's in the middle. But that's because half of Europe's over there on the right in grey.
Yes,
Because
and
the sides don't match up.
the other half on the left is also taken well out of proportion. I mean, the middle should be the middle, and if the middle is the middle between Greece, Spain, the UK, and Sweden,
Then it would be Switzerland.
No, and Moscow. Moscow's in Europe.
no.
the
Moscow is part of the Eurasian continent, but it's not part
No,
of
it's in
Europe.
Europe. The Urals.
No, it's not.
The Ural is the frontier between Europe and Asia, so technically John's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that's the
It's
worst
also
thought.
wrong because Moscow is Russia.
That's the
and Russia-
worst thing to be right, technically.
But you're also wrong. Let the man finish.
Because Moscow is part of Russia, and Russia is not considered to be European. For
Yeah,
some
it
reason.
is.
They don't
I'm
even
sorry.
consider themselves part of Europe.
Yeah, neither do we.
No, you still consider yourself part of Europe, just not of the
No,
European.
we don't.
Just not of the
sneer.
European Union.
We sneer. We sneer at Europe.
And start the engines and move the island closer to the States.
Yeah. There is that.
So since you have left the European Union, John, you could actually start calling it the Union, because it has nothing to do with Europe. Let's be honest.
Well, it never had.
Yeah, but let's call it what it is: the Union.
No. We're the Union, and everyone else is a
No,
pale
you are not the
imitation.
Union.
No, we were
You
first.
left.
We're the Union. No, we are the United Kingdom, the Union of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. We're
And
the
other-
Wait for the
Union.
next
And Gibraltar. Don't
next
forget
referendum
Gibraltar.
in Scotland.
Sorry?
Don't forget Gibraltar.
Oh, no. We have lots of territories. There are the Channel Islands, the Scillies, the Isle of Man.
The Sillies.
The
Maldives.
Scilly Islands, yeah.
Oh.
The Maldives.
Scilly Islands.
The Maldives
Is it
are
like a territory?
Portuguese.
What was the name for
There's Ascension Island, the Falkland
Falkland.
Islands.
Falklands? That's it.
Gibraltar?
Yeah, he's already mentioned that one.
No. The whole thing is an island. What do I care?
Well, it's an archipelago, actually, but never mind.
How's an archipelago?
There's 400-500 islands.
Okay.
Sicily.
That's why it's Great Britain. It literally means the Big Britain.
No, the great in the name Great Britain is irony, mate.
No, it's not. It's a geographical term, you putz.
So there is that.
So Ireland is actually Little Britain.
And what's Little England then?
Nothing. It's a snarky remark from you.
John, build the wall around London and call London Little Englanders.
No, we call them Little Europeans.
Yeah.
Unionists, please.
No. The Unionists are in Northern Ireland. It gets very confusing, but
And so are the Loyalists. The Loyalists are in Northern Ireland as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
And technically, all the Conservatives are Unionists.
And of course, the majority of the Catholic population are all nationalists.
Yeah.
Apart from the ones that are Republican.
Well, funnily enough, I'm a Republican, and that confused the fuck out of an American years ago on YouTube. Because he couldn't get his head around the fact that Republican means not having a monarch as opposed to a supporter of a particular party. No, actually, Saucy. London is not a law into itself. London is a not law.
What about Greater London area?
Well, you've got London City and what's the other one?
Greater London area.
There's lots of other ones.
One of them is basically status aparte within London, or even within England.
There are lots of separate areas within Greater London. Lots and lots and lots.
Still. But yeah. Considering it's 1:45, anyone wants to say something interesting, or can we call it quits?
Well, you can bugger off if you like.
No, I
Sorry.
can't because I have to close the stream then.
Damn it.
Yes, he is the one in control.
Yeah.
I'm in control today.
Control is still us in the European Union. We can do whatever we want.
Well, I'm happy enough. Thanks for having
And
me.
can
on
I
again.
just say, the greatest...
No, you can't. No, you
No, I
can't.
can. The greatest joy of not being any longer part of the European Union are Article 13 and 14.
Yeah, because you're free of that one for now.
We're free of those. Sorry, I have to laugh at that because those are so deep, so stupid.
Yeah. I'm quite annoyed that that actually came true.
Yeah. And that's why
Yes,
we had
thanks
to
for the
leave.
reminder, Davey.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that one.
Enjoy your flight,
Anywho.
Paolo.
Oops.
Sorry?
I said enjoy your flight, Paolo.
Have fun, you lot.
Sleep well, Paolo, and have a good one tomorrow. And everyone else, thank you for joining us. Anyone wants to have any last words in this thingy?
Goodbye.
Thanks.
Kiss
for
me,
joining-
Hardy.
Thanks for joining us, and I hope you can see us all again soon next time.
Yes. And that's where I'm going to call it quits. I hope you all had a good time. We did. And till next
Wait,
time.
we've still got 12 watching. That's quite good for after 2 hours.
Yeah, but you alone are 4 of them.
No, it just looks that way, mate. I'm quite slim if I stand side on.
Anyway, now we're really going to go. Bye-bye.